Hi, it's James here for Read More Comics. And this past week, I've been hunting for comic books. In fact, over the weekend was fall break. And so I've been hitting up a couple different places. I got in a mail call and I have some comic books I want to share. So to begin with, if you would please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell up in the corner so that way you can get notifications anytime I post new content. That would be awesome. I really appreciate everybody who enjoys listening to me ramble on about collecting comics and the comic books I'm collecting. So this past weekend's been a long weekend for me. It's fall break. And while I've had some time off, I've been looking for comic books. I have some comics to share. To begin though, I'd like to start with a mail call. So as I was sharing in my last comic book video, I went to the Midwest Comic Con, a dealer convention, picked up a bunch of books, bunch of run fillers, but more importantly, I was working on, sorry, I got a nose itch. I was working on my 2024 collecting goal, which is Batman Volume 1 from issue 400 all the way to the end, 713. And I was really close. I picked up a couple books. I picked up an annual. And then, as I shared, a pile of run fillers. When I got home, it might have been a couple days later, I hit up Graham Cracker Comics. I have found that they've been really helpful in giving me support in filling in particular runs. And for a lot of the books I was looking for, considering I was purchasing them in a larger quantity than individually on eBay or whatnot, it was a really reasonable price. So this Graham Cracker Comics, most of their shops are in Illinois. They do have one, it's interesting, down here in California. Customer service has been amazing. It is a brick and mortar store. And so I felt really good about supporting them when my LCS wasn't able to kind of fill in the gaps with this particular collecting goal. So there were three books I was looking for, and I received them on Friday. So we have, and these are all, okay, two of them. We have Tony Daniel on art, or was, yeah, Tony Daniel might have been doing the art and the writing. I don't know. Anyway, so we got issue 706. Gorgeous cover there by Tony Daniel. We have 712. And then the last book of the series, we have 713. That last book of the volume right here. Okay. And so that finishes it up. Except for a few annuals, I have accomplished my goal. I'm really happy about this. I have a couple months to spare. And so any extra comic book budget I have left over, because I do budget for this, I'll be pushing towards a few other runs that I'm really close at completing. Probably my Captain America Brubaker run is going to be a priority. Let's see, and my ROM Volume 1 run, Marvel run is going to be a priority. Okay, so next up, I hit my LCS. I'm sorry, would you get out of there? My dog just came in. This is funny. I don't know what she's thinking. She just came in, decided she's going to nose around my trash can and grab a napkin because she's a napkin hound. She's a perfect dog, except she loves chewing up napkins. Anyway, hit my LCS up, picked up my polls, have some books to share there too. And I also grabbed two of their comic book art boxes. I'll be posting them right over here as I'm talking. I was pretty jazzed about this. I've been eyeballing one of them, the death metal box. You can see right here. And then as Casey at Buy Me Toys was helping me move these short boxes around so I could get to it, I happened to notice they had a Rachel and Terry Dodson Harley Quinn Poison Ivy box. You can see it right there. And so I went and grabbed those too. It's kind of fun, and I'm seeing that there's some presentation value in these as I'm beginning to refine my comic book room. I definitely have been doing some organizing over the weekend, and it's starting to get a little cramped. So I'm looking at how I can use these as more presentation boxes in one of the other spaces in the house. So first off, I got the DC Connect book. This is kind of nice because while I do use Previews World and I try to keep up on books that are coming out. Oh, these look pretty cool. From McFarlane Toys, we have these masks. I might look into picking those up if they're reasonably priced. I definitely like the animated series one right there. And yeah, that one sticks out. Animated series right there. Anyway, so picked up DC Connects. This is something they throw in, and it's kind of nice to have a paper catalog to look through. I do use Previews World to pre-order, subscribe, order books, but being able to flip through it and go, hey, what's standing out to me is an awesome thing. The one thing that really stuck out to me, we got a new Aquaman book coming out. I think this is volume 8. Check out the A cover on this. I already pre-ordered the A cover right there. So I'm pretty jazzed about that. There wasn't really anything else that stuck out. I'm already pulling Absolute Batman. I'll be pulling Absolute Wonder Woman. I've heard really good things about both books, and I like the creative teams. I'm on the fence about Absolute Superman. I'm definitely getting the first issue because I want the trinity of books, the trinity of characters. But I'm not sure if this is going to be a long-term thing. I am finding that I have a bunch of books that are coming off my sub list. There are a bunch of miniseries that are finishing up, which is kind of nice. So it'll be nice to kind of see a lull in the number of books I'm pulling, and then I can leverage those resources elsewhere. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at what we got. First up, and these are going to be my indie titles first. We have Conan the Barbarian, issue number 16. This is a variant cover. I'll be honest, I don't know who the variant artist is. What I do is with Conan, and I've learned that previews, if you do Previews World, I have learned that it's really not friendly in choosing specific covers. It's not that I'm hunting for like the ratio covers or anything like that. But if there's a particular artist or particular style and they're doing a B cover, for example, I'll typically sub that. But what I've found is that as comic book publishers will make a particular title, I'm trying to think of when this happened. I think it was with Red Sonja, one of the volumes of that. Maybe it was something else. Anyway, halfway through it, they'll like skew it. So I'm subbing the B cover because I want a particular artist. Let's say it's Joss Middleton. And suddenly he's doing the C cover. Well, I'm stuck with the B cover. And because of how pre-ordering works, subbing works, I'm going to be stuck with it for some time unless my LCS is pulling other additional copies of that C cover, that Middleton cover, hypothetically. So what I've been doing with Conan the Barbarian, this is the Titan Comics run, is instead of subbing the book, I will check it up in FOC. I am well ahead of this, and I will choose the variant cover I want rather than getting stuck with just the A cover, just the B cover, etc. This works really well for most indie books. This works really well with most DC books. It does not work well with Marvel. I don't know what's up with Marvel. They take forever to publish on Previews World or even elsewhere uh, who is doing what cover, what the ratio covers are. Again, I'm not looking for ratio covers. That's not the game I'm in. And so sometimes I'm just kind of stuck with it. And with Marvel, I typically do just sub to it. Like I'm subbing Captain America, I get the A covers. Miles Morales, I get the A covers. Let's see. Ahsoka, I've been choosing the variant covers. And I think that's about, Alex Ross was doing the Ryan North run. And so I was just getting the A covers. And now I'm getting some other person. I don't know who it is since Alex is not doing those anymore. Anyway, so we got Conan the Barbarian. This wonderful thing about this title is it is definitely a strong throwback to the kind of Marvel Volume 1, the early stuff with Roy Thomas. Uh, and I think also what stands out to me, and Jim Zub, is it Jim? Jeff. Jeff Zub. Sorry. Jeff Zub gets Conan the Barbarian. Okay. Like he gets the Robert E. Howard character. Uh, this volume right here is retelling the Frost Giant's daughter, a seminal Conan the Barbarian story. I think I have 4 or 5 iterations of this particular story in comic book form, no less. But what's wonderful about this is what you see on the cover is telling you what's in the story. I know this is Frost Giant's daughter because this is the Frost Giant, or this is the daughter. Here's her brothers. Okay. So that's kind of cool. You don't see that on typically comic books from the big two. Next up, we have Resurgence of the Valiant Universe. This is volume 2 by Alien Books. I have not read the first issue. I'm pulling this because I'm hopeful that it's a resurgence, no pun intended, resurgence of Exo Manowar. I think he is an awesome character. There's a lot of story that they could tell there. The last couple volumes have been really good, except for the Hopeless volume. That one wasn't really good. But the Matt Kint one was on point. So, issue number 2. And then we have I suppose it's a season conclusion. It's not the volume conclusion, but the season conclusion of Rook's Exodus, issue number 6. Issue number 7 is supposed to come out sometime next year, and it's supposed to be like a new season. I'm not sure how it's going to connect to this story. We'll just have to wait and see. We got a couple Marvel books. We have Star Wars, The Battle of Jakku, Insurgency Rising. This is issue number 2. All the other covers came out last week, but for some reason, this cover right here came out this week. This is the one I pre-ordered. This is one of those books that I am kind of cover ordering. I'm looking for the covers that I just think are cool. And seeing this Stormtrooper on it was it for me. I haven't read these yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening with this. I know Charles Soule is supposed to start up a Kylo Ren book. If you haven't yet, highly recommend reading issue number 50 of the last Star Wars volume. It's this wonderful one-shot story between Luke and his nephew, Ben Solo, and they're just kind of talking about this adventure. He's sharing this adventure that his mother, father went on. No, was Han wasn't in on it. Anyway, great story, and it's clearly setting up. It's reminding the audience that Kylo Ren's a character because Charles Soule is supposed to have an ongoing Kylo Ren book coming out, which will be fun. Next up, we have Spider Society issue number 3. I have not read any of these, but I really do enjoy the different Spider-Verse titles that Marvel's come out with. This cover is really exciting. We see Spider-Cat right there. Okay. And this is one of those where I have been, again, just like Star Wars, what I've been doing is I've been pre-ordering specific covers. I typically look for covers that remind me of Into the Spider-Verse or have Miles Morales in it. And this one definitely has that feeling. This is another mini series. I'm subbing all these covers. This is Conquest 2099. Okay. Annihilation 2099 was the prequel series for this, where it introduced a bunch of 2099 characters just for this series. And what they set up was them facing off. We don't know that yet, but what they're foreshadowing is Dracula 2099 has made a bunch of space vampires, and they need to fight space vampires. So anyway, this is the Leadkilla covers. I've been getting all the Leadkilla covers on this one. Next up, we have we just have 2. It's a pretty light week for DC. 2 DC books, but both these are killer books. We have DC All In Absolute Wonder Woman number 1. I went with this variant cover. And then we have the final issue of Zatanna Bringing Down the House. Went with this cover here. Then today, as I was running errands, I stopped by Half Price Books. Oh, sorry, move the camera. And I gave myself a time limit because I had other things I needed to do, and I picked up some things. So we got Witchblade. I'm not a fan of Witchblade, but I am a fan of Wizard, and this is one of those Wizard promo books that came out that you had to get through the Wizard magazine. So this Witchblade issue number 500 with, look at that right there. It took me a bit to find this one. Apparently there is also like a gold chrome and a silver chrome. Didn't get those. And for Half Price Books, they were charging $5 for this. I know this means nothing. I could make one of these with a scanner and a printer now, but I think it's goofy cool. So I've been getting into some 90s image titles. I'm not going to be hunting down 499 issues of Witchblade. It's not going to happen. But I'll add this one because it's kind of this throwback to this time when Wizard Magazine meant something. They had another promo book there, and I don't know if I don't think the people that processed the comic books recognized it as this. So this is the promo book you get when you go to the Batman and you see it in theaters. I didn't see it in theaters because I think it came out during the pandemic, somewhere around then. I don't remember why I couldn't, but I thought this was super cool. This is a reprint. This is a special edition reprint of Long Halloween issue number 1 with obviously the Batman on the front cover. It took me a bit to find this in CLZ. I actually had to search for Batman Long Halloween issue number 1. And through that back door, I was able to find this is a variant cover for this. Doesn't have an ISBN or not QR code, barcode. So we have Aquaman Sword of Atlantis, issue number 40. It's part of my Aquaman low-key hunting it when I encounter really cheap books. I'm going to pick them up. They had a couple other ones, but they were all ganked up on the spine. And if I'm going to pay $1 for a book, I want the best dollar book I can find. These next few books, the rest of the stack, honestly, are all a part of a Batman Beyond run I'm trying to complete. I actually just started this earlier this year, and what I'm looking at is collecting just the Terry McGinnis in continuity volumes, okay? And I'll get issue number 1, Batman Beyond, even though it's not in continuity because it's super cool. I think this is volume number 4. This is pre-New 52. So we have issue number 2 and number 3. Just love Batman Beyond. I love the cartoon, and I thought, what the heck? It's eventually Terry McGinnis is going to show up in a live action movie, and it would be really cool to already have this in my collection. It's going to add some value to it. Issue number 6. This is the next volume, so this is separate of the volume I just shared you. And then there is, so this comes out, and you can tell by right here, right before New 52 does. The New 52 volume of Batman Beyond is, it's in continuity, but it's not Terry McGinnis. It's someone else ends up traveling to the future and becomes Batman. I'm drawing a blank on who it is. I don't want that guy. I want Terry McGinnis because that's who's in the cartoon. So the rest of this then, this is after DC Rebirth. We have issue number 17. None of these are keys. Issue number 27, 28, 29. Nice little run there. And then issue number 42. I think there is one key. There's Batwoman Beyond that shows up. Carrare shows up. I think I already have that one. But I think that was kind of flew on the radar. So anyway, those are my books. I appreciate you listening to me. If you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about collecting and my comic book goals and life, etc., please do like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope everybody enjoys the fall weather wherever you are, if you're in North America. And don't forget, even as it gets a little cooler in the Northern Hemisphere, to read more comics. Thank you.